On September 3rd, 2023, the YouTube channel Blot Outdoors Show uploaded footage following the host and his friend Mick as they embarked on a stealth camping trip near Chillingham Castle, a location known for its haunted history and eerie legends. They expected a night of adventure and maybe a few chills, but what they did not expect was a terrifying series of unexplained events that left them shaken and desperate to leave. The adventure began with the pair arriving at Chillingham Castle's vast grounds. The castle itself is infamous for its ghostly legends, including the spirit of the tortured child, the white pantry ghost, and many others that have been reported over the years. Some believe that the castle is one of the most haunted locations in all of Britain. While both men considered themselves skeptical about the paranormal, they admitted that the castle's eerie reputation added an extra layer of tension to their trip.
So welcome back to the Blot Outdoor Show, guys. Today I've got the human dorsal fin joining me on this camp. Looking forward to this one, Mick?
Oh yes.
We're currently in the grounds of Chillingham Castle, which is supposed to be the most haunted castle in the whole of Great Britain. We're not going to try anything daft, you know. We're not going to be dressing up. I'm not going to be putting no white sheets over the top of Mick and trying to trick you guys. And to be honest, I'm very sceptical about things like ghosts and stuff like that. But what we're going to do is we're going to have a mooch around. We haven't got the bags on yet. We've left them in the old Jean-Claude Van section. We're going to have a walk around the castle, you know, because it's supposed to be a beautiful thing to see. Okay then folks, we've found a spot to camp. Just over there, in that gap, through the bushes. I don't want to show you it yet and ruin the surprise. You'll have to wait until we get there, guys. When we do get back here, this is going to be the final bit where we've got to be stealthy. I'll show you. As you can see, the castle is there.
They spent some time scouting a good spot before finally deciding on a hidden area near the edge of the woods. The plan was to set up camp under the cover of darkness and stay hidden throughout the night. They were aware that if security or rangers discovered them, they would likely be asked to leave immediately. As night fell, they set up their tent and settled in. They chatted, joked around, and even enjoyed some drinks and snacks while discussing the castle's haunted past. For a while, everything seemed normal, and they began to relax. But that peace did not last long. It started with footsteps. At first, they assumed it must be other campers or possibly castle staff patrolling the area. However, when they peeked outside, there was no one there.
We're not going to set our gear up straight away, for obvious reasons. We're going to just sit and wait, and hopefully we don't get rumbled. I can hear loads of voices up there, so we're just going to sit down, have a can, and if no one comes down in the next 20 minutes, we'll get the tent up. Okay folks, that's the tent up and all our gear set up. It looks like it's dark here in the woods, but as you can see, it's still light once you step outside. Well, I might as well show you. All of our food and drink, and inside the tent, it's well renowned for being the most haunted castle in Britain, possibly even in the whole of Europe. Meg, come here. Get in the tent.
The footsteps seemed to start and stop at random intervals, as if someone was circling their tent but deliberately avoiding being seen. Then they heard whispers. The voices were faint but distinct, scattered around the area as if multiple unseen figures were speaking just out of reach. The two men sat in complete silence, straining to hear where the sounds were coming from. But no matter how hard they listened, the whispers faded in and out, shifting locations as if something was moving around them. The tension inside the tent built. Mick, clearly uncomfortable, whispered that maybe they should pack up and leave.
What the hell was that? Can you hear that? Okay folks, we're back in the tent now. I've got to be honest, there's been nothing spooky happen tonight. It's been a nice chilled out camp. What the fuck's that? Sorry guys.
What the fuck is that?
There's definitely something going on outside the tent.
What the fuck is that?
Fucking hell.
I'll put the card out there.
Calm. Stay still, stay still, stay still. It stopped. It stopped. There was definitely some footsteps or something out there, Mandingos. I don't know if you heard that. The camera probably didn't pick it up, so you probably think we're full of shit. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna press stop on the record, and I'll bring you back soon. I'm busting for a slash Gordon anyway, so I'm gonna go outside and I'll check it out. Did you hear that? It was like footsteps, and then it got faster. But then as we started like talking, it just stopped.
But before they could make a decision, something slammed into the side of their tent. They both froze in place. And for the first time in all their stealth camping trips, they both began to feel genuinely afraid. Then the footsteps returned. This time they were faster, heavier, rushing toward them. It sounded as if someone was charging directly at their tent. But just as suddenly as they began, the footsteps stopped completely.
Okay guys, it's that time of night. Me and Schmick, we're going to get some sleep now. It's very late, it's after midnight. It's been a great night, apart from getting caught. But, you know, it's been, the fuck's that?
What the fuck's that?
Hold on.
What the fuck's that?
Just hang tight, hang tight. Shh, the fuck.
What?
Wait,
Okay.
Quiet. Oh yeah, no, we're not gone, we're not gone. We'll have to stay. What the hell was that? What was that?
What the fuck is that?
Right. Honestly. My heart is beating. I feel sick.
The two men remained motionless, barely breathing, waiting for something else to happen, but nothing came. The oppressive silence dragged on for what felt like hours before Mick finally whispered that he did not care anymore. He wanted to leave. But before they could even begin packing up, a deep, guttural groan rose from the darkness. The host, who had always laughed off ghost stories, admitted that this was the first time in his life he had ever felt real fear while camping. Despite the fear, they remained in the tent, hoping the activity would stop. Hours passed, filled with occasional rustling sounds, distant movement, and eerie whispers. Exhaustion began to take over, and at some point, they drifted off into an uneasy sleep.
there was like noises of like the bushes going outside, and like daft, like weird like noises. I don't know if it was like human noises, or I don't know how to describe it. But I've got this horrible chill up my body, and believe you me, guys, I am scared of no man. But that's a funny old feeling.
Morning came slowly as the first light of dawn filtered through the tent fabric. They both woke up feeling drained and unsettled. The forest around them looked normal again, as if the previous night's events had never happened. Still on edge, they quickly packed up their gear, eager to leave. Truly unsettled, they wasted no time getting out of the woods.
7 o'clock. Well, just after 7. What a fantastic night. I nearly shit my pants. I think little Mick has followed through. I've never experienced anything like that in my life ever. Like I've said earlier on in the video, I'm always very skeptical when I hear these stories, but there was definitely like footsteps outside the tent, and then just stopped. And then later on, we heard like, I'm looking around to try and think where it was coming from, what bushes. It was one of the bushes or one of the trees. You could hear like shaking, and like a strange, how do I explain it? Like a strange groaning noise.
As they hiked back toward their car, they could not shake the feeling that they had not been alone the previous night. While some might argue that their minds were playing tricks on them, the evidence was undeniable. Whether it was something paranormal, a hidden watcher in the woods, or something else entirely, one thing was certain: this was a stealth camp they would never forget. In September of 2024, a YouTuber named Megan uploaded a chilling video to her channel, Megan Page, titled, "I Was Attacked in the Woods by a Man." Her channel primarily documents her everyday lifestyle, and she frequently shares footage of her travels and life updates as she explores the United States. In this particular video, Megan decided to go on a solo camping trip to a forest in Humboldt County, California. As Megan began her video, she mentioned that the sole purpose of her trip was to take a break from her busy lifestyle and find peace and solitude in California's beautiful forests. The first few minutes of the video featured Megan updating her viewers about everything going on in her life. She appeared to be completely alone in the woods, as she did not hear or see anything unusual. However, just moments later, she suddenly started hearing footsteps approaching her, and that's when Megan encountered something truly disturbing.
When I got home from the psychiatric facility, there were cockroaches in my bed. Can you believe that? So that's why I'm in Humboldt. Well, that's why I'm back in Humboldt. I'm staying at my dad's again, and it's really bad. Every day we've been scream fighting. And then I come to the woods for like 4 hours and decompress. And then I go back home, and then he acts like nothing happens. Like a true narcissist. Like the true narcissist he is. Okay, well, you scared me.
Oh, thanks. Okay. Scared to get to walk by and eat the stairs.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I'm pretty hard. Don't worry.
Okay, I'm
You're
sorry.
probably more dangerous than me. You're probably more evil than me. Look at the dark hair you're saying. You're bomb. Little stoner.
Okay, that was terrifying. What the I'm shaking. That was scary. Thought I was just about to get killed. He said that I looked evil. I can't even enjoy the woods because of tweakers. Like, look how beautiful it is here. I love Humboldt, but the tweakers, he was coming right at me. And so obviously I'm gonna be scared.
It was evident that a man holding a broken bottle had suddenly appeared out of nowhere and approached Megan. Terrified for her life, Megan immediately picked up her camera and began distancing herself from the man. During this time, the man started talking to her, assuring her that he was not there to harm anyone. However, by this point, Megan had already seen enough warning signs indicating that the man was probably up to no good. As a result, she immediately picked up her belongings and started walking away from him. It is still unclear whether the man actually meant any harm, but based on his behavior, it is very likely that he had some very sinister intentions. The man initially sneaked up on Megan while holding a broken bottle, potentially intending to harm her. But when he saw that she was recording and realized he had been caught, he came up with an excuse for his actions and began assuring her that he was not a threat. Megan, however, was not convinced at all and wisely chose to distance herself and walk away from the man. Fortunately, the man did not end up following her, and Megan safely made it out of the woods without any harm.
And so obviously I'm gonna be scared. And then he's like, you're probably more scary than me. Your dark hair and your veins. Like, sir, I'm just a cute stoner trying to smoke my weed in the woods.
In a video uploaded on March 17th, 2025, Brennan from the YouTube channel Brennan Explores, dedicated to wild camping, van life, and stealth camping adventures, embarked on a 4-day road trip across the UK in his self-built camper van. His goal was to travel across scenic countryside, finding quiet, secluded places to park overnight and fully embrace the freedom of life on the road. However, what started as a routine night of camping quickly turned into an unnerving experience. After several hours of driving, Brennan finally found what seemed like the perfect overnight spot: a small woodland area next to a reservoir, far from any major roads. He described the location as secluded, peaceful, and surrounded by thick trees, providing the perfect cover for a stealth camping experience. He noted that it was already pitch black when he arrived, making it difficult to fully assess his surroundings. However, seeing no other vehicles or people around, he assumed he would have the place to himself.
Oh. Good morning, campers. It is the day before we embark on a 4-day trip in this van, which will be in this video. Just had a look at Park for Night, and there's a nice little spot by a village called Atherstone. It's about 25 minutes away, and it's in a place, woodland in fact, called The Common.
Your destination is on the right.
Oh, bloody hell. State of it. Just look at it. The joys of trying to find a park up.
After making a 16-point turn, I was eventually able to make it out of that boggy mess of a park up. I ended up heading further south to another park up nearer to where I'm meeting my dad in the morning.
Your destination is on the left.
Is this it? Ooh. That must be the reservoir there on the left. And we're in. And we're in. Oh.
Brennan parked his camper van, leveled it, and began setting up camp. With the temperature dropping, he turned on his diesel heater to keep warm. He then cooked a simple meal, a double cheeseburger with barbecue sauce, and settled in for the night, enjoying the silence of the forest around him. The only sounds were the occasional rustling of tree branches and the distant hoot of an owl. For a while, it seemed like just another peaceful night. Then, headlights appeared in the distance. At first, Brennan assumed it was just another camper or traveler looking for a place to park for the night. However, something about the situation felt off. The car did not park, it just sat there, its headlights shining directly at his van. Minutes passed, but the vehicle remained motionless.
Just parked up looking at us, and somebody is coming towards the van with a head torch on. Someone's at the back of the van. What the hell is this person doing? Just sat there. The headlights shine at the van. There was absolutely no reason why anyone should be down this road at this time of night unless they're camping. That's a car, not a van. Another car's just pulled up.
Brennan watched carefully. Then he saw a figure walking toward the van, a person with a head torch slowly approaching. Brennan remained silent. Then he heard something else, movement at the back of the van. Someone else was there. He quickly locked the doors. Just as he tried to process what was happening, another car arrived, then another. Within minutes, a group of strangers had gathered around his van. The once empty parking area was now filled with people standing in the darkness, their intentions unclear.
A couple of blokes just stood round. What the hell are they doing? What was supposed to be a quiet spot is turning into the complete opposite. Someone else has bloody pulled in now. Why are they coming that close? This is weird. We've got another one turning up. What the hell?
Brennan tried to remain calm, but the situation was getting stranger by the second. The group did not speak or approach his windows. They just stood there. Some were staring in his direction, while others seemed to be watching the tree line. It felt like something was about to happen, but Brennan had no idea what. Then, yet another car pulled in. At this point, every instinct told Brennan to leave. Carefully, he reached for his keys and started the engine. His headlights illuminated the area, revealing the group of men standing motionless, watching him. Brennan quickly pulled out of the parking area, keeping his eyes on the rearview mirror. He half expected one of the cars to follow him. For the first few minutes, no one did. However, the tension did not fade. He wondered why so many people were gathered in that spot so late at night.
Way too many of them. Not enough of me. Oh. Look at them all, look. Look at them all. What's this here?
After driving for several miles, Brennan found another location, a quiet parking lot near a playground. There were no other vehicles nearby. no strange figures standing in the shadows. Finally able to relax, he parked, locked the van, and took a deep breath.
Okay, spot number 2 for the evening. Not a bad little spot, this. No. No. I thought they'd follow me down here then. How shit would that have been? But no, I'm happy with this. This looks like a nice little spot. Right underneath a tree. Playground to the back of us. And no one else here. Nice and quiet. This I can live with. I don't know how busy it gets in the morning, but I can't imagine too many people playing basketball in the morning when it's raining and then in -degrees. We'll head back to that spot in the morning to go meet my dad, and we'll see what it looks like in the day, because supposedly it's quite picturesque. Just whatever you do, don't stay there at night.
As he lay in bed, his mind replayed the encounter. He tried to rationalize what had happened, but something about the way they stood so still, watching in silence, did not feel right. He asked his viewers what they thought happened there and to let him know their thoughts. The next video was from Grizzly Gaz, a YouTuber known for his outdoor adventures with his pug Fendi. Gaz's channel focuses on camping, hiking, and survival, blending humor with suspense and often featuring eerie encounters in remote locations. It was October 29th, 2023, when Gaz arrived at a spooky woodland location. The area was infamous for its unsettling vibe and rumors of past pagan rituals. The cold, bitter air set the tone as Gaz began searching for a suitable spot to set up camp. The overwhelming darkness shrouded the forest, creating an ominous ambiance that felt straight out of a horror movie.
Well, you know what day it is, don't you? Eh? It's a school night. But it's not unusual for me, that. But I'm in this woodland and I've heard that pagans come in here to do their rituals. Is that what you want to call it? So I'm looking for, it's a large down tree and it's around this area somewhere. So I'll have to figure out where that is quickly, because we're losing light. Just come straight after work. You enjoying yourself there, mate?
Walking deeper into the forest, it looked as if Gaz had stumbled into a scene from a horror film. The oversized, oddly placed trees gave the woods a haunting and surreal appearance. Despite the eerie atmosphere, Gaz pushed forward, noting that so far he hadn't come across any signs of demonic rituals or unusual markings.
I can't see any pagan markings or out like that. Right then, let's get set up, shall we?
Did you notice it? While Gaz was busy setting up his tent, completely unaware, a shadowy figure could be seen moving around behind him. The figure appeared to be wearing a mask and was lurking behind a tree, watching Gaz as he worked. This shocking discovery was subtle but unnerving. Gaz had no idea that he was being watched.
You can hardly see the tent. Now it's not pitch black yet, but it's dark enough. The only thing that you can see, look, that gives it away.
As Gaz finished setting up his tent, the forest became nearly pitch black, making his tent almost invisible in the overwhelming darkness. Trying to shake off the creepy vibe, Gaz decided to have some food and relax before venturing out to explore further.
You can hardly see the tent. Now it's not pitch black yet, but it's dark enough. The only thing that you can see, look, that gives it away is the guy line connectors. Ah, look at that. Even got my own bench, look. That's good, isn't it? So what I'm gonna do is have something to eat, and then we'll go for a wander around once it gets dark and get a feel of the place. And for tea, we got bacon mash. Is that your ass, Fendi? You little scruff bag. Farting away.
After eating, Gaz took a walk through the woods. The cold breeze rattled the trees, causing leaves and acorns to fall, amplifying the eerie ambiance of the night. Although Gaz didn't notice anything out of the ordinary during his walk, the unsettling atmosphere lingered, and the dark, twisted shapes of the trees only added to the sense of unease.
Ouch. There we go. It's like ready break. That mashed potato were nice, especially with bacon bits in it. Lou don't love a little bit of bacon, eh? We love a bit of bacon, don't we, pal? Right, let's go for a walk in dark now, and we'll go see what that place looks like, because it's absolutely pitch black now. And if you get lost in here at night time, it'd be pretty hard to get out of here, because it just all looks the same, and there's not many like proper paths really. It's just all like little game trails and stuff. Come on, mate. Oh, it doesn't half look creepy down here. The tree looks like a skeleton, and we're all like bibbies in it. Definitely feels creepy in here. It does feel creepy down here, but that's because I've got light shining in my face and I can't see out, and there's a slight breeze in the air, so there's lots of things just dropping from trees because it's autumn now, so there's conkers and all sorts of stuff dropping out. Over here in front of me, it's all dried leaves on the floor, so every time something drops from there, it's really, really amplified. But there doesn't seem to be all going on down here.
Back in his tent, Gaz lay with Fendi by his side. He left the tent door open, trying to enjoy the cool night air. Suddenly, a tapping noise began, seemingly coming from somewhere in the forest. The sound repeated, and even Fendi started to look uneasy, her ears perked and body tense. The noises escalated as Gaz continued to hear strange, louder sounds from the woods. This time, it was the distinct cracking of branches being snapped in half. Deciding to confront his fear, Gaz stepped out of the tent to investigate the source of the noises, seemingly unfazed or at least trying to appear so.
That's nice, isn't it, mate? Fucking hell, that were a big branch, wasn't it?
As Gaz ventured outside, the noises abruptly stopped. This made him wonder if it was a coincidence or if whatever or whoever was making the sounds was aware of his movements. The silence only deepened the tension as Gaz scanned the dark woods, unable to find anything unusual.
Shit. Hold on, mate. Let me get my light up. It's falling behind my back.
Back inside the safety of his tent, the unsettling sounds returned. The snapping of branches now felt closer, and it seemed as though something or someone was throwing objects at the tent. The repeated thuds against the fabric were enough to make anyone's heart race.
Why has this light gone off? There we go.
Light footsteps were then heard approaching the tent, sending chills through the air. Gaz lay frozen in fear, confused by what he was hearing. He tried to rationalize the noise as the wind, but it was clear from his expression that he was struggling to believe his own explanation.
Wind or what? Hey. I think it's just wind. Let's pick it back up again now.
He repeated that it was the wind, thinking it had picked back up again. Out of nowhere, someone or something violently pushed the tent down, terrifying Gaz and sending him into a panic. Wasting no time, he grabbed Fendi and sprinted out of the collapsed tent, running into the pitch-black forest without looking back.
Oh, fuck! 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 Fucking hell. Where the fuck? Fendi! Fendi! Come here, mate. Oh, you're alright. What the fuck was that? Fucking flies. Mate, come on.
Trying to catch his breath, Gaz and Fendi stood in the dark, completely shaken. The cracking sounds of branches continued around them, adding to the terror of the moment. Whatever or whoever was out there seemed to be closing in. Once Gaz regained his composure, he decided it was time to leave. Back at his tent, he quickly packed up his belongings, convinced that staying any longer would be too dangerous. The events of the night had left him shaken, but his instincts for self-preservation prevailed. The next day, Gaz returned to the campsite to retrieve the gear he had left behind. To his horror, he found his tent completely destroyed, slashed and ripped apart. The sight confirmed that someone or something was indeed out there in the woods with him the previous night. The real question remained: what were their intentions? Was it a cruel prank, or was it something far more sinister? Fortunately, Gaz and Fendi made it out unscathed, but one couldn't help but wonder what would have happened if they hadn't left when they did.
And a few other bits as well that I left. Look at the state of it. Oh, come on, mate. Snap my poles and that. Sleep mat. Where's my cook kit? My cook kit were over here somewhere. Don't mind people scaring you and stuff out of woods, but when they're just going to break stuff as well, what's the point in that? Eh? Oh, it's got rips in that fly sheet as well, look at that.
In October of 2023, a British YouTuber named Mike uploaded a rather bizarre video titled "The Woods I Will Never Camp In Again" on his channel, Novice Wild Camper. Mike's channel is all about wild camping, with frequent videos showcasing his camping experiences in different parts of the UK. In this particular video, Mike decided to go on a solo overnight camping trip in the woods somewhere in the UK. Mike began his video by venturing deep into the woods to find a good place to camp for the night. While exploring, he stumbled upon some peculiar footprints on the trail. He figured they must belong to a dog walker and continued on his way. After walking for a while, Mike found a good spot and set up his campsite. After setting up his camp, he showed his viewers the various camping gear he brought, and this is when he mentioned hearing some strange noises nearby. But yet again, he dismissed them, thinking it was just a small animal, and did not think much of it. As the night began to set in, Mike enjoyed his dinner and decided to go to bed. However, at around 3 a.m., Mike was suddenly awakened by a series of rocks hitting the side of his tent, and this is when things took a very disturbing turn for Mike.
Alright, it's not exactly late, but I am very tired, and laying in a hammock does not help it. It's just too comfortable. There's a huge amount of noises around here. I've picked a chestnut tree wood, so there are chestnuts crashing around constantly. Sounds like Bigfoot's throwing rocks at the hammock. I've had a couple of near misses and a couple of hits, but yeah, going for a fun night. See you in the morning. Right, I'll be honest, this is the first time I've ever done this. I'm actually sitting back in my car now. 3 o'clock, it just started hammering it down with rain. After the rain started, I could just hear crashing around that got nearer and nearer and nearer to my hammock. And every time I moved or got out to check, it stopped but didn't. But the weirdest thing was, suddenly by my hammock, massive thud hits the ground, jumped up, and there's a rock on the floor that wasn't there. And I'm just laying there listening. And then another one. This went on 3 or 4 times at least. And then a large branch, there was no crack, hit my tarp, and every time I jumped up and got out, there was no movement, there was no nothing now. But this has completely freaked me out.
Mike mentioned that he heard rocks hitting his tent and heard some strange noises that were getting louder and louder, leading him to believe something or someone was closing in on him. However, when he went outside to investigate, the noises would suddenly stop, but as soon as he went back inside, the noises would start again.
Right, it's 7:30. I'm back at camp. Everything's as it was, apart from my water bottle, which is crushed on the floor, which is a bit weird. This is seriously the weirdest forest I've ever camped in. I got back here and I'm standing here, and then suddenly the tree next to me just crashes, like if a bird suddenly flew out of it, like it was startled. And the bushes are all shaking and it's crashing, but there's nothing in it. There's nothing there. It's full of creatures and animals running around, and twigs on the floor, so you hear everything snapping and cracking and breaking. Suddenly it happens. I don't like it here. I'm getting packed up. I'm under my tarp, packing up my quilt, and there's this crash behind me. This doesn't land coming down, it bounces towards me. It hit the floor and was still rolling towards me. This place is freaked out. I am never coming back here again.
After hearing the strange noises for the second time, Mike, afraid for his life, immediately packed up his belongings and left the woods. On his way back to his car, he suddenly ran into someone walking near the woods, and their brief encounter quickly took a very disturbing turn.
I just got back to the car, and bearing in mind this road is like a desolate dead-end road. No one comes down here. No one has driven down here. I walked off. And I'm like, yeah, this is just doubled my thoughts of never coming back to this place again. I won't pinpoint where it is. I don't think anyone will probably find it, and not anyone local enough around here that will know about it anyway. But yeah, I won't pinpoint it to say avoid this place, but I'm never going to come back here again, which is such a shame because it is a really nice woods and it's only about half an hour away from me.
The man mentioned that Mike was brave to have spent the night in the woods, and when Mike asked why, he told him about the dark history of deaths there, and then just walked off. The man's identity and the truthfulness of his claims remain unknown, but to be safe, Mike kept the location of the woods a secret from his viewers to avoid them from going there. It is still unclear whether Mike's experience was paranormal or something more sinister, like a serial killer lurking in the woods. However, the lack of information about the man in the woods leaves the source of Mike's strange experience a complete mystery. In December of 2024, a YouTuber named Sarah uploaded a chilling video titled "Disturbing Encounter While Solo Camping" to her channel, Wandering Gypsy. Sarah's channel is dedicated to outdoor exploration, and she frequently posts footage of her travels across the United States in her Jeep Wrangler. In this particular video, Sarah set out on a solo overnight camping trip in the desert of Utah. As she began her video, she ventured deep into the desert to find a suitable spot for her campsite. After driving for a while, Sarah discovered a secluded area and decided to set up camp for the night. Once she was all set up, she prepared her coffee and started exploring the nearby surroundings. During her exploration, Sarah was surrounded by the beautiful view of nature, and she enjoyed the peaceful and quiet surroundings. It appeared as though she was completely alone in the desert, as she did not hear or see anything that suggested anyone was nearby. However, just moments later, while she was walking around her campsite, Sarah suddenly spotted a red car approaching her, and that's when things started to take a turn for the worse for Sarah.
No signs of humans. No signs of wildlife. Just hear a bunch of crazy birds chirping. And one of the things I like to do when setting up camp too is scoping out the place, is look on the ground for like wild animal poop. And the only poop that I see on the ground is this cow poop.
After Sarah saw the red car coming towards her, she immediately got back in her Jeep. Disturbingly, the car stayed at the end of the dirt road and continued blocking her exit for almost 10 minutes. By this point, Sarah had already seen enough warning signs indicating that the man inside probably had some very sinister intentions. As a result, she was consumed with fear and anxiety over everything she was witnessing, and all she could do now was stay inside her Jeep and hope that the man inside was not a threat. Sarah then kept a close eye on the car, and that's when she noticed the man staring directly at her.
We all know I've been dealing with a stalker situation lately. I know what he drives. I know what he looks like. I kind of know where he is at all times because, well, he posts his videos of where he's at. But maybe that has had me a little bit sketched out lately. But for me to be sitting here at my Jeep in this secluded spot right now, which I'm about to leave, and then that red truck just pulls up at the end of this dirt road where I'm at and then just sits there. And I was out walking around the campsite filming when I saw the truck. I thought he was going to turn around or something, but no, he just sits there. So I took my phone and I put it up on my dashboard and I just started recording just in case. So then I also come and stand by my Jeep because we all know I have protection, so... And the truck just continues to sit there. And then when he pulls off, so just stuff like that gets under my skin. Because now I found this awesome campsite, and I have to leave because now I am worried and paranoid that once it gets dark or in the middle of the night, could this guy come back because he knows I'm here by myself? I feel like I just have the worst luck lately. The worst luck. I had another incident about a month and a half ago when I was up at Mount Charleston camping up there, and I didn't share it with you guys because I feel like I just had so much going on in my freaking life, and you know, just so much negative things that if I would have shared the incident up at Mount Charleston with you guys, then you guys would have been like, oh God, not again. This is what us females have to go through. I don't know if these are signs or what. Just, I'm over it. So now I have to leave and I have to go find me another campsite now.
Fortunately for Sarah, the red car eventually left her alone. However, to Sarah's absolute shock, as the car was leaving, she noticed a man wearing a mask staring directly at her. To make matters even more disturbing, Sarah later revealed that she had recently been dealing with a stalker for the last couple of months. Every time she went camping, she would notice someone stalking her from a distance. If this was the same stalker she had encountered previously, then this encounter becomes even more alarming, especially since the area where she had been camping was located in a pretty remote part of the desert. If the man were to come back again, things could escalate quickly. But fortunately for Sarah, even though she was frustrated over what she was dealing with, she wisely chose to leave the area and safely made it out of the desert without any harm. The Bearded Explorer is a YouTube channel dedicated to urban exploration, abandoned places, and eerie overnight investigations. On October 28, 2023, he ventured into the abandoned Royal Hlar Hospital alone. The hospital, which was once a naval medical facility dating back to the 18th century, is infamous for its dark history, mass graves, and paranormal sightings. The Bearded Explorer had visited before, but this time his experience was far more terrifying than he could have ever imagined. In the beginning, he sneaked through the basement to avoid security, who were reportedly strict about keeping trespassers out. He described how the hospital was once used to treat injured sailors, many of whom never made it out alive. In fact, over 10,000 people are believed to be buried in a mass grave near the site. The sheer history of death tied to the hospital set a deeply unsettling tone. As he explored, he made his way toward the gymnasium and MRI scanning rooms. However, before he got there, he experienced his first disturbing moment of the night.
Hello guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome to tonight's special Halloween video. Tonight I am on my own in the Haslar Hospital and we are going to be exploring all the creepy parts of this building. Now I had to sneak in through the basement tonight because the security are on the gate and they are absolutely 100% hot people coming in here now. So I had to be a little bit James Bond to get in here, but I'm in here. We're going to get up to the main entrance, go and check this place out and see what we can find. And there is a mass grave out there. 10,000 people buried in that area. Absolutely mind-blowing. I'm not sure which way to go. And we're going to have a look in there first and then we're going to go upstairs and check out all the MRI scanners. Okay, that was weird. That door has just closed. But there is absolutely no wind in here whatsoever. What the hell was that? Okay, that was really, really creepy. I've only been here literally 5 minutes and that's happened. Okay, I'm going to get out of this area because that was actually really scary. I don't know what that was.
A door slammed shut behind him. Immediately he froze. He confirmed there was no wind inside the hospital, so he wondered what caused the door to move. Brushing it off, he pressed on. Moving deeper into the building, he arrived at the spiral staircase, a location tied to one of the hospital's most tragic stories. According to legend, a nurse named Mary committed suicide there after the death of a child she was caring for. People have reported seeing her ghost lingering near the staircase. As he filmed, he noticed a curtain moving on its own, despite there being no open windows nearby.
Now the gymnasium's on the left, but before we go to the gymnasium, I want to show you this little bit here. This is one of the only curtains which is left in the whole hospital, and it's still hanging here today. A creepy chair's still there too. There's always a creepy chair in a room like this, isn't there? God, look at the paint peel in here, it's unbelievable. There is actually a little bit of a breeze on those curtains, which is strange because there's no wind in here. This is where I've just walked past, but look at it, it's moving on its own. That's really bizarre because there's not even a window open here. Why is that curtain moving? Okay, don't think about it too much, because like I said, I am here on my own.
As he headed down into the basement, he pointed out an object that few would expect to see in an abandoned hospital, a real human liver. The organ had been sitting in the same place for years, and while most of the hospital's historical artifacts had been removed, this particular item remained. Then, as he turned a corner, he felt something. It was as if he had just bumped into a person, but there was no one there.
Okay, oh God, it's creepy in here. God, you just listen to the water outside. There's no wind today, but it is really, really raining hard out there now. Oh, there's always a creepy chair in the basement. Why? Why? Okay. So while we're down here, I just want to show you one more thing before I go, while I'm in this area. Now, I have heard stories that it's not here anymore, and if it's not here, I'm going to be quite upset. Fingers crossed. It is still here. So this, guys, is a real human liver. I know it's disgusting, but it is very, very rare. The sort of thing you'd only see in a museum. Okay, guys, so I've made it back to the scanning rooms. And it's quite nice to see that everything is still here. A few of the bits have been moved around, but I'm pretty sure that's done by the builders, not by anyone else. Still crazy to think that all of this stuff is in here, all the paperwork. Oh my God, what was that? It felt like I bumped into someone, but there's no one there. Whoa, okay, freak out. Whew, okay. There's nobody there. It felt like I bumped into someone, but there's nobody there. There is nobody there.
The hallway is completely empty. He tried to shake it off, but the unease only grew stronger. Moving toward the operating rooms, he described how many of the original medical machines and equipment remained untouched. The setting was preserved in time, giving the place a ghostly feel. However, as he began looking around, he heard what sounded like footsteps. At first, he thought he was imagining it, but when he stopped walking, the sound continued. He was not alone.
That sounded like footsteps. That really sounded like footsteps. Like that, what I'm doing now, that's exactly what I just heard. Okay, that was really, really creepy. That was really creepy. I'm sure I just heard that. Right, I'm getting out of this bit. That was really, really horrible. God, I am absolutely crapping myself now, I really am. Okay guys, so we're now going to check the operating theatres. So we've got another that's the same wall in there. That's where my mum was. Now I think the operating theatre is this one on the right here. Is it that one? Yes. What the fuck was that? Okay, that was weird. That was really, really, really weird.
He cautiously checked each room, calling out to see if anyone else was there. Silence. Then suddenly, he heard a soft voice. It sounded like a child whispering. At this point, his fear was palpable. He tried to rationalize the situation. Maybe it was an animal, a trick of the wind. But deep down, he knew something was not right. Then the most terrifying moment of the night occurred.
Oh God, this is so scary. Honestly, guys, if you've never tried this before, I urge you just to give it a go once. Just come to a place like this and just walk around it on your own at night. The adrenaline rush you get from it is phenomenal. It really is. But at the same time, it is very, very scary. My heart is racing 10 to the dozen at the moment. Right, I don't know if you heard that then, but that fucking sounded like... Hello? This is absolute bullshit. There is no way I just fucking heard that. I'm sorry I'm swearing, guys, but I do swear when I get scared. What the hell is this? Oh, fucking hell. Fucking hell, it sounded like a little girl. I don't know what it was. I don't know. It sounded like a little girl. Oh, What the no way that has just happened. There is no way that is... Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. What? Right, you've just seen that with your own eyes. I have not touched that. There is nobody else here. What the was that? How the hell did that happen? Okay, that was really, really scary. I didn't like that.
As he stood in a hallway, he heard what sounded like a stampede of footsteps, as if dozens of people were running toward him. The sound was loud, overwhelming, impossible to ignore. He spun around, expecting to see someone, but the hallway was completely empty. He panicked. There was no way he imagined that. At this point, his nerves completely shattered. He turned and ran, desperate to get out. He stumbled through the building, losing his sense of direction in the panic, but eventually found his way out.
What the fuck is going on? It sounds like loads of people. What the fuck is going on? There's no way that just happened. There's no way. There is no way that just happened. There's no one in there. There's no way anyone could have been in there. Okay, I am fucking getting out of here. That I'm gone. Oh God. I'm going. That's it. I'm getting out.
As he reached the outside, he was visibly shaken. Breathing heavily, he stated that this was the scariest experience he had ever had while exploring. He swore he would never return to Haslar Hospital again. He wondered if something or someone was truly watching him from the shadows.